Hi guys, my name is Teresa. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing an update on my 40 by 40 list. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Like I said, I'm updating my 40 by 40 list, which you don't know is the 40 books that I want to read before I turn 40 years old, which is only like 3.5 years away. I'm currently 36. I will be 37 in October of this year. So I need to get a move on because I've got 3 years and 4 months to read these books. And as you will see in a minute, I have not done well on reading down the list. First off, if you guys want to know what's all on my list and kind of get a refresher, or if you're new to my channel, haven't seen the video yet, and kind of want to know what these books are and why I want to read them before I turn 40, check out the video up here, link down below in the comments. I made this list, I believe it was in February of 2023. I'm pretty sure is when it was posted, the video was posted. So go check that out if you haven't already, and then come back to this one. I will say there are two changes that I did make to my list. I did have The Little Prince, and the reason for that was because I just felt like everyone had loved it growing up as a child, and it was like everyone's favorite book. But I decided to change that because, quite honestly, I had never heard about it till like a year or two before I made this list. And I was like, it has no nostalgia for me, no anything for me. So I decided to change that to The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, I think is how you say their name. Because The Secret Garden is a book that I have known about my whole life. Like, I know it's like a lot of people's childhood and stuff like that. So I decided to switch that for that. And then the last one was I was going to read, I don't even remember the name of the book, but I was going to read a book by Octavia E. Butler, which was about vampires. No, I can't remember the name of the book. But I decided to switch that one out for Kindred instead, because I'd heard that the one about vampires had some content in it that I might not be okay with reading. So instead, I decided to switch it to Kindred. Same author, just a different book. And same with like The Little Prince. It's still like a middle grade children's story, just a different book. So those are the only two changes I have made to the list. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the books that I have read. Again, if you want to know all the books on the list, go check out that video. I'm not talking about them today because there's a lot. I mean, there's 40 books, right? There's a lot. So I have read 7 of the 40, which means I still have 33 books to go, which realistically, not that big a deal. I read 100 plus books a year. So 33, that's nothing. The problem is what the 33 are. There are some big, chunky, like, books on here that are going to take a lot of brain power and a lot of energy to read, which is my own doing. I put all these books on here. I'm the only one holding myself to this list, but still, you know, it's kind of fun, and I'm excited to hopefully get through this. So let's talk about the books that I have read so far, and then after that I will kind of give you an idea of kind of what my plans are for the future. Really quick though, before we go into that, guys, I forgot to figure out star ratings and like when I read the books. So if I am able to do it in editing, or like up to it, because I'm able to, it's just whether or not I want to. When it comes to editing, I will put the date read and the star rating here, but if not, then you can check out my Goodreads. That has everything on it. Okay, so the first one is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This was definitely in the 3-star range. Again, I don't remember the exact number. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. I'm going to be saying this about pretty much all of the books on this list. I'm glad I read them. Whether or not I like them or dislike them, I'm glad I read them. They're on this list for a reason. And Then There Were None is one of those. So I was not a fan of it. I mean, it was just okay to me. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it or love it either. You know, it was a 3-star. It was just like, okay. But I will say I'm so glad that I finally read it, because now I can see where all of the inspiration and the retellings and the everything comes from, because this is such a classic mystery and such a really like good story as far as the actual concept of the story, that again, I'm glad I finally was able to read it and kind of understand where, you know, these other stories get their inspirations from. I will say that I was not spoiled for this, which is like surprising and amazing that I was never spoiled for this book, because it's pretty old. It's been around for a long time. And I did not see the ending coming. I was surprised. So that to me was pretty cool. I was able to read it and still like feel that what you would have felt the people who originally read it like back in the day when it first came out, how like, oh my gosh, this is groundbreaking, this is amazing, this twist, what is this twist? So that part was really, really good. I just don't do well with classics. It's just something in my brain. Classics are difficult for me. And like I said, it was only a 3.5, I think, but still very glad I read it so that I can move forward understanding and seeing the inspiration in a lot of nowadays mystery books. Okay, the next one we have is The Handmaid's Tale. Once again, a book I'm glad I read, but didn't work for me. This is 100% concept was great, execution not so much for me personally. Anyways, I thought the concept was pretty interesting. I understand where the author was coming from. I could see her point of view and like her commentary and all of that kind of thing. The execution just was not for me. I was bored. I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about the fact that like bad things were happening to these people because I was just bored. I was just like, and you're supposed to care, right? Like that's the whole point. You're supposed to care and be like, how about we like try to like not let this become a reality, right? But yeah, I just didn't. I was just like, meh. So unfortunately, that one was a flop as well. But like I said, still glad I read it. Still glad that I can understand and see the references and just be a part of the conversation around it, I guess. Then we have one that actually was a win for me, you guys, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This one was so good. I cannot remember if I don't think I quite rated this a 5-star. I think it was like a 4.5, 4.75. Another book that I'd never been spoiled for, which like again was amazing, but I tried really hard to avoid spoilers for this. It was beautifully written. The atmosphere in this book was so good. It's so gothic and like just I love gothic. I love the gothic storytelling, the atmosphere, the wondering like, is this paranormal? What's going on? Like I was almost like, is it some sort of like Jane Eyre vibe here? Like with the old wife. Yeah, it was like eerie, and the sense of dread was strong in this, and you're wondering like, is our main character losing her mind? Is it paranormal? Is there something else going on? And then when we get to the ending, we find out what really was happening. I was like, oh my gosh, I loved it so much. I can't, of course, talk about it much without giving spoilers as far as like the ending and stuff goes. But this is one I would highly recommend. I very much enjoyed it. I would love to read more of her stories because I really vibe with her writing style. I just really like the fact that we're wondering the whole time what's really going on and like, is this a reliable narrator? I just love that type of questioning and eeriness when you're reading a book. So yeah, Rebecca was definitely a win. After that, we have The Secret Garden. So like I said, I had changed this one out for The Little Prince. I read The Secret Garden, or I put The Secret Garden, and I read The Secret Garden by Frances Hobson Burnett. Maybe I might be pronouncing that slightly incorrectly. Again, nope, didn't work for me. The main character drove me up a wall. She was so bratty and so annoying. And like, I understand why. I get why the author wrote her that way. But I still just couldn't stand her. She just drove me crazy. I just was like, you're a brat. And no, stop. And like same with like the boy character. I was just like, what is with these bratty children? Like, oh my gosh. But yeah. I loved the garden part though. Like the whole idea of a secret garden, the whole like finding this unknown, untapped, magical place. I mean, like not even really magical, but like you make it magical in your mind. You know, like how kids are like imagination. It's just like I wish I could get back to that and like create these like imaginary things, and just have this wonderful secret world all to my own, or to just the only ones that know about it are like the closest people to me. Doesn't that just sound amazing? Like to go sit in your secret garden and like listen to the birds. Like I'm just like I need one. I'm definitely gonna have Josh build me one when we get married because I need a secret garden so badly. That part I really, really enjoyed. I loved the gardening aspect and the grumpy old man that was kind of the caretaker. I really liked him as well. But I was like, I don't know if it's just because it's a classic or what, but it just wasn't one that worked for me. Once again, very, very glad I read it so that now I can say that, like, I understand. I mean, I get why people love it. I definitely can see why people love it. It just wasn't one for me. Then we have another one that wasn't for me. You'll see a bit of a trend here. The Secret of History by Donna Tartt. Oh my word. This book, you guys, I hate read this book. And I know this might hurt some people because I know this is some people's like all-time favorite story. It made me so angry. The pretentious rich people just doing stuff because they can get away with it because of it just drove me mad. I just like I can't. People are so annoying in this book. One character in particular, I'm just gonna say that like I was not upset with his outcome. I was like, yeah, I think you got what you deserved kind of situation. If you know, you know. It happens about halfway through the book. You know the character I'm talking about. Because I was so like, I hated him. Like, I really was just like, no, you are the worst character. I can't stand you. I can't deal with it. Again, though, I'm glad I read it because this is like the mother of dark academia, like really weird dark academia, at least to my understanding, where it started. And I can see now, reading dark academia books that are written nowadays, the nod to the secret history and I guess like the whole idea of, I don't know, like I don't even know how to describe it. But again, it's like interesting concept. Execution didn't work for me. Characters didn't work for me. I hate read this book. I'm so sorry. I know some of you are going to be so upset about that, but it just grated on me. It grated on me so much. And then the whole thing with the twins, getting some Game of Thrones stuff going on. That's all I will say. I was just no. It was no for me. It was a no for me. So yeah, unfortunately, that was also a flop, but one that, again, I can understand why it's such a well-loved book, and I can understand its place in history and um, within storytelling. So I can appreciate it, just didn't like it. Then we have a book that worked for me. Finally, another one that worked for me, and that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I finally read The Way of Kings. Oh my goodness. Was this a good book? This was not like the most groundbreaking fantasy or like this most epic, exciting, like never seen before fantasy. It was just so well done. It's a long book. It's like over 1,000 pages. I took about a month to read it because I was really taking my time, going slow, really just enjoying the story. And I'm glad that I read it that way because I was able to really just sit with it. This was a 5-star, you guys. Oh my gosh. I would get to a point in the book where I'm like, wow, okay, I feel like we're nearing the end. We got a lot already. And I look at my thing, it's like 30%. So listening to an audio, and I'm like, excuse me? But then when it ended, I was like, wait, no, that's not enough though. I still need more. It's like, how? How can you do that? How can you make a book be 1,000+ pages and like fulfilling within itself, but you still want more after it's done? He is a master of storytelling. Like, he truly is. I think one of my favorite characters is Rock. He just cracks me up. I loved him. I loved his relationship with Kaladin and just like with the crew, with the bridge crew. And I don't know. I think he's definitely a favorite, at least in this book. We'll see if he continues or if someone else pops forward as being a favorite. But it's very intriguing. Like, I am so intrigued by this story and I want to know what happens from here. It's just how he weaves everything together. He's just brilliant. I know I'm not really telling you much about the story, but like, if you want to know more, you can check out the other video because I give you synopsises and stuff. I'm just giving you my feelings, I guess, in this video. Yeah, I very, very much enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. I'm so glad I read it, and I cannot wait to continue this series. And I don't know, Way of Kings might beat Mistborn. Might. But I need to keep reading to find that out. So we'll see. And the very last book, you guys, that I have read, book number 7 is Strangers on a Train. I think it's by Patricia Highsmith. I could be very incorrect on that one. But this one, unfortunately, was also not a win for me. I only had, what, 2 of the 7 books actually work for me. Not good odds. I'm hoping that's just because I'm saving the best for last, and moving forward, I'll be reading a lot more books that work and that are like in the 4 or 5 star range for me. But again, like I said, still glad I read them. They're on this list for a reason. So Strangers on a Train. This one, another one I really didn't like. This one I know for a fact was like under 3 stars. I think it was like a 2.75 or something like that. I did not enjoy this book at all. Another one, again, I think this happens with classics a lot. Maybe it's just me. It could just be me. I feel like the premise was great. The execution, not so much. Quite honestly, I loved the Alfred Hitchcock adaptation way more than I loved the actual original story, which is unfortunate. You know, I hope to at least love them equally. But yeah, no, I think the movie did it better. I just, again, with the annoying main character, and like that's not something that like really bothers me. Is I read unlikable characters. I read a lot of thrillers. A lot of times we have unreliable, unlikable main characters, and I can still love the book. It was just something about this grated on me. Maybe it's just rich people prestige. What's the word I said earlier? Prestigious? It's not prestigious. It's like whatever. Rich people problems. It just annoys me because I'm not a rich person. So I'm like, what are you complaining about? You're being dumb. I don't know. But our main character is like one of the main characters is like a freaking sociopath. And just like, again, the premise, so good. This could have been a 5 star. The whole idea of this book of 2 people meeting and then like exchanging and committing murders for each other because literally no one will know because it's a chance meeting on a train. Like, come on. So good. But yeah, it just didn't work for me, unfortunately. Some of the way that they talked in this book, maybe it's just because of the era, the classics, the way that women were treated and talked about, the relationship between the rich, crazy guy and his mother irked me so much. Like, that bothers me in classics. I'm like, no, just stop. just stop. Like, it wasn't like inappropriate, like bad inappropriate. It's just that, oh, he's my baby, he can do nothing wrong, that kind of thing. My baby boy, he's perfect in every way. No, he's not. He's a freaking psychopath. I don't know, guys. Obviously I have strong opinions about this book. So unfortunately that one didn't work. But again, like I said, with all of these, I'm grateful I have the opportunity to read them. I'm grateful that I understand the story and now I can see, where we have come in writing and what I've been inspired by. Because these were like groundbreaking in their day, these classics, right? One of a kind, first of its kind of situation. So yeah, very, very glad that I have read all of these. Okay, so now where am I heading in the future? Like I said, I have 33 books I still need to read. So basically, for future, I want to read 11 books per year to be able to, at the minimum, if I can read 11 books starting on my birthday, so I have a little bit of time because I still have about 4 months of wiggle room. So if I can get a few books read in the next 4 months to kind of cut that number down, that would really help out. But if I read 11 books from my birthday to my birthday in 2026, and then so on, I should be able to finish this list and get them all done. That is the hope. So yeah, I could use encouragement though, because quite honestly, I forget that I have this list from time to time, and I think about it, I'm like, oh goodness gracious. Oh goodness gracious. I still have so many books to go. Oh yeah, that is my update a year and a half later. Not as good as I want to be, but at least I've read some. If you like this video, guys, make sure to give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content by me. I would really appreciate it. I recently reached 300 subscribers. I can't tell you how much that means to me, guys, considering that I've been on BookTube for a while, but also have had to take unexpected breaks for a while, multiple different times. It's been really frustrating. So the fact that there's 300 of you who stuck with me or who are willing to give me a chance, I really, really appreciate that. It means so much to me. If you haven't subscribed yet, like I said, please do if you want. If you want to see more of my content. Let me know, have you ever made a 40 by 40 list or a 30 by 30, a 50 by 50 25 by 25. I don't know, any kind of list that has to do with like, I want to read these specific books before I turn this specific age. Let me know. I'd love to chat about it and see, like, you know, whether you've done it in the past and you've already completed it, or you failed at it, or it's for the future. Whatever. Let me know like where you're at in that, and if you've made a video about it, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll go watch it because I love this kind of thing. I'm nosy and I want to know what other people are doing and kind of like why you choosing certain books and stuff like that. So if you've read any of the books I've talked about, you have thoughts, you know, you can leave those in the comments down below as well. Encouragement would be nice. Also, you're here and you made it to the end, you just want to let me know that you're here, you don't want to say anything, go ahead and leave me like a time emoji, like a clock or watch or anything like that, because time is quickly running out on my chance to read all of these 40 books, or I guess the 33 books that I have left. So yeah, go ahead and leave it down below. Any other things that you'd like to say, I would very much appreciate it. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!